Next up, we're going to be going over a MacBook Air that has no backlight on the screen. I'll turn it on so that you can see what the backlight on the screen looks like when it's missing. As you can see, we have nothing on the screen, even though the fan itself is spinning. The first thing that I should point out here, if you're going to open the machine and try and take the board out or clean anything or mess with it, take a look at how this Wi-Fi wire is routed. See how the Wi-Fi wire is routed through this little channel? You want to keep that routing going. You don't want to put it around the screw hole over here. That's no good. Take this wire and put it where it belongs. You never want to be touching the wrong spot. As many dissatisfied women have told me over the course of my life, you don't want to be touching the wrong spot. There we go. So let me just show you what it's supposed to look like now. Just as a tip, in case you're ever taking this apart. Goes like that and stretches around. The long wire for the Wi-Fi is going to go through the first slit, and the short Wi-Fi wire is going to go through the second slit. So take a look here. And you'll see that the first noticeable problem, and the reason that this likely doesn't work, is our feedback trace is blown. Between here and here, this is backlight output. This is where the backlight diode is. This is where it goes to the capacitors that are going to store the backlight voltage. And this is where it's going to go back to the LED driver so that the LED driver can see what it is that it's creating. The LED driver is going to be doing all of its switching on this side. The switching is going to make the inductor, which is this piece over here, mad. When the inductor gets mad, it's going to create more voltage, and that's going to allow our backlight circuit to work, which is the most technical and advanced definition I can give you at this time. It doesn't know what's going on this side unless it has a path back to the chip, and this is its path back to the chip. If it doesn't see what voltage it's creating at backlight output, it's not going to do anything, and that's going to be a big problem, which is why we need to reconnect that. Now, this is actually going to have a backlight if I reconnect that. So this is the LED driver chip. Might as well show you that. The LED driver chip looks pretty good. The bottom side of the board itself actually looks pretty good. I don't think we're going to have any problems there. There's a pube coming off of our feedback ball on the right. It's got a pube coming out of it, but that pube is probably what's infusing it with power. We need that pube. We're not going to touch that pube. I want to put some nice leaded solder on this board, and then we're going to move all the lead-free junk with some wick. The flux is going to make it easier to get on there, and might as well touch up the joints and those resistors. Those resistors are going to be fine. They don't carry a lot of current. Just a little bit corroded is all. Come on, Cap. Get out of here. Make this board look great again. Okay, we're going to solder to that little nub. See? Where we ran that little wire, there was a break. If you go over to the schematic in the board view software, you'll see that the break occurs over here. And this is going to go to feedback. Feedback is going to go to this ball of the LED driver. So most likely, if something happened that was harsh enough on this board to actually rip a hole in it over there, then most likely the chip on the other side is going to be bad as well, which is why we're going to repeal and then replace it with a better one. One that's more suited, a fitter, happier backlight output chip. That's my chip. Them's my balls. Oh, yeah. Look at those solder balls. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we get a backlight. So I get 8 volts at the fuse, 8 volts at the other side of the fuse, 0 volts on backlight output. 8 volts on one side of the coil, 0 volts on the other side of the coil. There's no way that the coil could be bad because iPad Rehab sells a shirt that says that it's never the coil. All right, so this over here is the backlight coil. If we go over to L7701, this is the coil in the backlight circuit. Now we're going to measure the voltage that we get at one side of the coil, and you'll see on screen that we get 8.5 volts. But on the other side of the coil, we get 0.19 volts, proving that when Jessa stated that it's never the coil, she only did so because she didn't want any of you to get easy repairs. Jessa did that so that she could get all of those easy coil repairs and keep all the money for herself. Let's move on and replace the coil because I'm not sending this to Jessa. Will coil replacement fix this board? One way to find out. If this doesn't light up, it's going to be given to Paul. Backlight!